the real face of the nexus between Pakistan and China has been exposed. As China has moved troops to Ladakh, so has Pakistan. In the wake of all these developments, we have now the Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh, who would be going to Ladakh by the week end, which is Friday.
57 days of non-stop confrontation in eastern Ladakh. And while generals on both sides spent 12 hours discussing disengagement on Tuesday, it's precisely the opposite that's happening on the ground. In the latest development, China has deployed 2 additional divisions of its mechanized forces along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. The Indian security forces are also keeping a hawk eye on the movement of Chinese troops in the rear positions in Tibet, where an additional 10,000 troops have been holding an exercise for some time now. In response, the Indian Army has shifted 3 divisions, including 30,000 troops and frontline strike weaponry like tanks, infantry combat vehicles and artillery to Ladakh. And in the most serious friction point of Pangong So, the army will soon receive high-performance boats to escalate patrolling in response to the Chinese build-up there.
The big Indian Army mobilization has been an ongoing process as a response to the Chinese aggression in eastern Ladakh. And this is in keeping with the threat perception that China wants to push things to the brink. However, this troop build-up isn't restricted to the line of actual control.
As India had expected, and validating India Today's report last week, the Pakistan army has also mobilized 2 divisions of troops, about 20,000 strong, along the Gilgit-Baltistan area, producing a 2-front scenario to the Indian military.
It's a fact that Pakistan's deployment along the line of control today is more than what it was even after the Balakot airstrikes. This is an indicator that Pakistan is doing this on China's orders, an order that Pakistan can ill afford to ignore. The fact remains, at this point of time, India is facing hostilities on 2 borders. Pakistan on the north and the west, China north and east. A threat that's big on 2 fronts.
In yet another front, Indian intelligence alarms have sounded on Chinese efforts to revive Pakistan's Badr terror group in order to escalate violence in J&K. What India therefore faces is more than a 2-front war, with 2 nuclear neighbors in a hostile axis and with both looking to pour fuel on terror activity. With Kamaljeet Sandhu and Manjeet Negi in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to connect to my colleague Abhishek Phalla, who's joining us from Leh at this juncture. You know, Abhishek, can you get us up to speed? Was this visit of the Indian Defence Minister routine? Was he expected with what has gone down in the past? Or is this particularly in wake of the nexus now that we see built with China and Pakistan bolstering troops in Ladakh?
Rapid developments have taken place, Preeti, in the last few days. First, it was the unexpected Corps Commander level meet, which went on for 12 hours yesterday. And now the announcement that the Raksha Mantri will be visiting Ladakh on Friday. He will be meeting field commanders, interacting with troops on the ground, and will also pay a visit to the Leh hospital where those brave hearts who were injured in the June 15 Galwan clash are recovering. So a pat on their back as a morale booster for the entire Indian Army. Why his visit is extremely significant is because it sends a very strong message that the Indian political leadership is taking cognizance of the fact that how serious the situation at the line of actual control has been. Things still remain extremely volatile, irrespective of those continuous military dialogue that has happened over the last 1 month.
We appreciate you joining us, Abhishek. We want to continue to come to you from Leh. Abhishek has been filing a battery of reports from Leh and Ladakh and keeping us abreast and our viewers abreast with the latest development.